Right, jet setters. Well, really, I've got nothing to add here apart from the bleeding obvious. You know, where we're sitting at the moment is bang on like, a 23 Fibonacci retracement. Will be. This is a daily on the S&P, so there's that one. What else? It's right on, a support line through here. What is that? It's like, what's that? 4150, 4160, something like that. There's this gap in here, right, which to me I've been talking about for months, where it looks like it needs to be filled. And if it breaks, that's where I suspect it'll go. I've been short, equities, sold call options over some of my underlying portfolio, and short the futures. I have squared up my futures today though, because a little bit reluctantly, because I'm still bearish. But to me, one of my little rules I try and hang on to is the divergence. So I think it's called positive divergence now, rather than negative at the top, where you can see the RSI has been strengthening, right, on weakening price action. And for me, on a 4-hourly, that is one of my disciplines where I say, look, I just need to act when I see that. Either a buy or a sell. So I haven't gone long, but I've squared up. I'm wary of it because I think if this thing breaks that level, it will go very quickly down to some of these levels in here. So I've got a couple of levels in mind. Okay, let's look at the Fibo extensions, where they take us, which I've drawn countless times before. So the 101 takes us right into the heart of this 4,000 zone. That to me looks almost like a no-brainer. The other one, this 1.618 one, takes us to an interesting zone in here, which is back in September, October, November 2020, where there was vaccination news coming out and US elections going on, and it just broke out. So these points here, this level here, this level was a significant breakout, right? Because you can see choppy, significant breakout. This was a smaller one, but still significant. 4,000, big psychological level, choppy, and then just went straight through, had a retest, but didn't get to those levels, right? At least this retested those levels. These ones, when I broke through, never looked back, right? And that's, so I've been calling it to come back to here actually since this point in here, like in September when I started doing these videos, and I was saying that was the top, and I was calling it for a few reasons. There was this kind of ascending triangle here. It was like a monthly engulfing bearish candle. It's outside the Bollinger Bands, or right on the edge of it. So there's a few reasons why I was saying that's it. It didn't turn out to be the case. But to me, that was the death knell of the whole move. That was like the mortal wound. That's the way I view it. And since then, like, it has struggled, right? Like, it kind of went through, right, that level. Went through that level, tested it, broke, retested it, couldn't hold it, right? So that level, I was calling it, that to me was the top. This is just dumb money, really dumb money, pushing it to new highs. And you can see as soon as it broke through that level, it struggled, right? It just continually struggled, like it just kept coming back and back and back when it broke through. And that's why I think when it breaks that level again, that will be bullish. Right? In the meantime, if it's not going to break that, it's going to break this. Now you can see people will say it did break that level. but actually when you look on the weekly, it did not. Look at that, bingo, right on the ding dong. On the weekly, it did not break it. So that level there, and you can see that's one of the candles that I drew. That was, drawing the attention to. If we go to the monthly, we'll see it much more clearly. That is the monthly engulfing candle, that one in September. And that was where I said, that is the top. This to me was the dumb money. It's failed to hold that really seriously since then. So I'm still bearish, but I have squared up, looking for a bit of a rally, and then I'll sell into it. So it's being a little bit of a smart ass, and it will probably burn me. But we'll just see what happens. I've got some core levels set down here, around about 41. I think it's 41.50. 41.50. If it breaks that, then I'll want to know about it. I've got another one up here at like 42.75, which is kind of around in here. If it breaks that level, then I want to know about it as well. So that's the two levels that I've got set up. 42.75. Let's make that a big one for me. 41.50. Let's make that a big one for me. That's really how I'm viewing this market at the moment. That's the range. I wouldn't be surprised if it spent a little bit of time chopping around in there, the same as it did here, the same as it did in there, actually. I wouldn't be surprised if it just spent a little bit of time chopping. And I think, up here, if I'm lucky, I might get like a 4,300 figure to sell, which would be luscious. I haven't used that word in a while. If I'm unlucky, if I'm unluscious, it's going to break 41.50 tonight. And when the guys give me a call, it'll already be like 40.50, 100 points even lower. Anyway, look, that's it for the for the S&P, really. For the Nasdaq, just a quick look at that one, because that's the other one that's really sitting on its haunches. To me, that's the story in the Nasdaq. It's doing a bit of this in the Dow as well, right? Dangerous topping pattern where you just get these high highs, lower lows, high highs, lower lows, and then it fails at the midpoint. All over. This thing is fucked, man. It is not looking good at all. And that's why I'm particularly bearish the S&P as well. Having said that, this market's got a very strong resilience of stupid money going into it. And that is pretty dangerous. On the monthlies, we are looking at some very ugly monthly candles coming up. These engulfing bearish ones are deadly. That little, whatever you call it there, deadly. You go back and look at the history of monthly engulfing bearish candles, right? And they are very savage. That's the 2018. Oh, sorry, that's the COVID correction. This was like the 2018 one here. You can see here engulfing got big moves, down. So they don't happen that often, and when they do, they are ugly. So beware of that one. Apart from that, look, I'm still short the bonds. Thinking about squaring up those a little bit. I think the way inflation is going, the Fed and others may not actually have to raise rates anywhere near as far as they think, let alone as far as the market thinks, because the supply side problem might actually do the job for them in self-destructing the inflationary spiral, because it's different. It's not so much a demand, well, it is in part, right? But for example, the commodity prices, they're being squeezed not because of increased demand, but because of supply problems. Anyway, that's a whole another rat's nest to go into. So look, that's where I'm at the moment. This is still unfolding down, I think. I'd be surprised if it holds. I'm just looking for a little bit of a rally to sell into, to lob some more out. I'm wary of a big pullback, but at the same time wary of a tanking. It's a volatile time. Now, look, I hope that's helpful. If you're doing what I'm doing, stop it straight away. Okay, catch you later. Ciao.